All right, how's it going, gentlemen? This is your main man, Scott McKay. Today I want to talk to you about a concept I've never heard any other dating or relationship coach ever talk about. But the more I consider it, the more I'm starting to think it's the cornerstone of everything related to success with women. Well, I'm talking a big game already. What is this thing I'm talking about? Well, it all started when I was listening to the Michael Berry radio talk show about a week ago. Michael Berry is a conservative talk show host out of Houston. He's a good guy. I've been on his show before. And he was talking about how so few men in life know what it feels like to win, to be at the top of the heap. Big trophy, everybody else lost. Second place is the first loser, all that stuff. You finished first. Ichiban, baby, as they say in Japan. If you don't know what that feels like, then you don't know what you're missing out on. I think the closest a lot of people feel to that is if their team wins the Super Bowl or the NBA championship, they can kind of share in that. And that euphoria, if you know it, is really great. You know, apologies to Cleveland Indian fans out there, right? Or Cleveland Brown fans. Cleveland, folks in Cleveland in general, I know you're already pissed off at me. Anyway, onward. But winning a personal victory, whether it's in sports, you know, you won a marathon or, you know, you won a motocross race, or whether you're in sales and you got that multi-gazillion dollar contract and all these other competing companies can pound sand, there's a feeling associated with that. And it's a thrill. It's something that you want more of. It's fleeting, yeah. You ask any champion who has a history of winning, and they'll say, you know, I just won another victory. Well, you know, that feeling of winning is important to us as men because we're designed to win. But here's another thing, and this is the central point of this video. That feeling that you get when you win is not unlike the feeling of being alive. And you know, you've heard me talk about the suburban sleepwalk before. Here in the United States, in the Western world, you know, we're kind of mollycoddled. We live in suburbia. We can go to the grocery store to get our food. We can maybe even leave our doors unlocked at night and not fear much. And what do? We get on our big screen TVs and we watch everybody else live these amazing adventures. We watch television shows like Yellowstone where it's just constant strife and battle. And we're like, yeah. And we play video games and we watch porn. And none of it's real. None of it is visceral. None of it we can feel. It's simply entertainment. Well, unless you actually go out on a real adventure out there, go on an African safari, you know, ride a fast motorcycle, do anything that involves anything that would heighten your adrenal glands and give you that rush, you're not going to know what it feels like to be alive. When there's a constant sense of danger or that risk reward that I've talked about in other videos, that's when you start feeling like, hey, you know what? I'm not just existing. I'm not just going through the motions, but I'm feeling what it means to be alive, right? I think everybody famous who's ever quoted anything has said an iteration or a version of, you know, every man lives, but not every man knows what it feels like to be alive. You know, William Wallace, right? All these guys say that. Well, there's some truth to it, guys. And if you're living this suburban sleepwalk and you're going through the motions, even in terms of women, you won't even risk asking them out. You won't risk a real relationship with a real woman and you're off with some, you know, AI girlfriend trip or something like we talked about in another video around here. You're missing out. Guys, test your adrenal glands. Go out and have an adventure. Even if it's getting out of your comfort zone just a little bit more than you ever have, you may remind yourself it's been an awful long time since you felt that. And you know what feeling alive will empower you to do? Yep, let's bring it full circle. It'll empower you to go out there and risk the reward of winning. Hey, let's talk about this. Comment below or email me at scott@mountaintoppodcast.com. Be good out there.